guys, back again with another video, and it's actually an exciting one because October 19th, 2012, which is the current date of the making of this video, was the release of the L85A2 assault rifle for your assault class. Of course, I have to do that very special thing that I do and give a few shout outs to an oh so lucky few. The first person to get a shout out, their name is Papadopoulos60 for leaving the first comments on my YouTube channel. Next shout out goes to Hello Kitty for leaving a comment on my website, Shodredux.net. Very nice. Next shout out actually goes to Vista Instructions because he went out of his way to send a personal fan letter in my email box. And the final shout out goes to Havas. Okie dokie. Now with all those shout outs being out of the way, I thank you guys very much for taking the time to do the things that you do, for making your way to get into these videos or shout it out in these videos. But now I must talk about the L85A2. The L85 is a bullpup assault rifle designed in the 1970s and 80s. It is a member of the SA-80 family of weapons and became the standard service rifle of the Armed Forces of Britain. The A2 variant of the L85 has been a reoccurring weapon in the Battlefield series, actually starting out in Battlefield 2's expansion, Euroforce. This variation has also occurred in Battlefield 2 Modern Combat and currently in Battlefield 3. In order to unlock the L85A2, you have to be level 27 on your assault class, so that way you can either rent or purchase the weapon at a much cheaper cost. One of the first things you'll notice with the L85A2 is it has the slowest rate of fire out of all the fully automatic rifles available for your primary slot for your assault class. The total amount of ammunition you get with the L85A2 is 72, and that's 24 bullets per magazine. The L85A2's reload time is almost 5 seconds, which is really slow, especially for an assault rifle. The total amount of damage the L85A2 can do at close range, if you're just doing body shots, tend to stay in the high 20s. At medium range going for body shots, it tends to stay around the mid to high 20s. And at longer ranges, if you're just firing at the body, it still does low to mid 20s in damage. Now if you're going for headshots, the total amount of bullets it'll take to kill your enemy from both close range and medium range is just 2 bullets. But if you're going for longer range shots, it'll take 2, maybe 3 bullets. This gun also has some pretty amazing hipfire accuracy. So if you want to run around standing and just shooting from the hip, as well as crouching and shooting just from the hip, you can certainly get away with it with this gun. The recoil is soft and manageable for the L85A2. The pattern it usually follows is a forced recoil up and to the right, just a little bit though. So you can realign your shots so easily that even if you go fully automatic, your shots are going to be pretty pinpoint accurate up to the maybe 5th or 6th bullet. What makes the L85A2 really shine is the fact that at long ranges it has the best damage out of all the assault rifles available, which would make this assault rifle a great countermeasure against snipers. The other two things that make the L85 a great assault rifle is the fact that it has the least amount of bullet drop out of all the assault rifles available to date, and the fact that it has the most projectile velocity, which means when you're shooting at somebody from farther ranges, your bullet is more, going to be instantaneous to hit that target rather than being delayed and then getting the damage hit. It's going to be more spot on, and once you click the trigger, it's there and you do the damage. Of course, some of the negative aspects with the L85A2, the first being the low rate of fire. Even though that low rate of fire makes it more manageable to be able to make accurate shots and to be able to not burn through your bullets quickly, it's just when you get into those close range engagements, if you get up against a personal defense weapon or anything that has a faster rate of fire and you're up close against somebody, you're going to be dead in the water if they're good enough with that weapon. Of course, one of the other negative aspects with the L85A2 is its reload. It's very awkward, number one, just looking at the reload animation, and number two, it does block a good portion of the left side of your screen, so it blocks your field of view a little bit. So you want to be careful when you're reloading and on the run because you can't see your left side as well. As far as the iron sight goes on the L85A2, I overall like it. It's just one of the things I find a little bit interesting about it is that even though it does have a good open view of everything around you, it's just the inner of the sight kind of looks like you're looking at a pitchfork a little bit, and it kind of makes it a little bit weird, but I do like the day glow design. It's an added nice touch to the gun. Of course, I do like the in-game render of the gun. It looks very nice and crisp. It has a lighter tone to it in comparison to some of the other guns in Battlefield Play4Free. Also, when I first loaded in and looking at the gun, I was reminded of the QBB95 because it just has that similar looking design, even though they're made by two totally different people. Also, the L85A2 does have a pretty distinctive sound due to the fact that its rate of fire is slow, so you can make somebody out on the map being able to use this weapon here. While jumping and firing the L85A2, it's best to do it down sight if you have to, but I recommend you not to, just for the simple fact that its rate of fire has bullets coming out of it at a much slower rate in comparison to some of the other guns you would be able to get away doing that with. As far as the types of roles you can play with the L85A2, it does serve for multiple purposes, whether it's defensive or offensive, with an added twist. Let's say some of your teammates are pinned down from an enemy sniper. You now have the capability to actually effectively take out that sniper from longer ranges if you have patient and accurate shots, because of the simple fact that it has some pretty pinpoint accuracy even after the first, like I said, 5 shots. It's just a spot-on gun. Whatever method or playstyle you decide to use, just make sure to try and keep your enemies at bay. And by that I mean at medium to far ranges, because like I said, at closer ranges, due to the fact of the rate of fire being really slow on the L85A2, even if you encounter a group of enemies that are closing in on your position, you're definitely going to be outgunned just because of your rate of fire. Also, due to the L85 having the highest projectile velocity, you don't have to lead your shots as much, especially at farther ranges. So you can just pretty much point at your enemy, fire, and your shots are going to hit no matter what. If you decide to take the defensive approach with the L85A2, this would be the more simpler one because you can just sit back behind walls or cover your base from extreme ranges while enemies try to capture it, and you can just keep them at bay because you have the range on them. However, if you try to take the offensive approach, it will be a little bit more difficult because if you're the type of person that's going to run in there and capture flags, you might want to have a secondary that'll be able to take enemies out from closer range. Especially if it's a flag that you're capturing that's a pretty closed off area. Alright guys, I'm just going to do a quick recap for the L85A2. This gun has low manageable recoil and is extremely accurate. The hipfire accuracy seems to be the best out of all the assault rifles for Battlefield Play4Free. Out of all the assault rifles, the L85A2 has the highest damage at long ranges. It also has the best projectile velocity out of all the assault rifles available for your assault class, and it has the least amount of bullet drop out of all the primary weapons for assault. Of course, a couple of the negative things with the L85A2 is that, like I said time and time again in the video, the rate of fire being really slow. And the second thing is that awkward reload. It just tends to take up that entire left portion of your screen and blocks a good portion of your field of view, especially when you're on the move. So you gotta be careful with that too. All in all, the L85A2 is a highly recommended assault rifle for your assault class, and is most definitely worth unlocking when level 27 is reached. It's a great weapon to use for the person who wants to dominate at farther ranges without the use of a sniper rifle. Alrighty guys and girls, that's all I have for today about the L85A2, and I will see you all next time.